Alright, my friends. Alright. What's going on? Yes, we're talking about what is going on with our friend Robert Redford. Yes, Robert Redford. What is going on with our old friend Robert Redford? His final on-screen performance was in the perfect MCU movie. And we're about to reveal what that is. Okay. The legendary Western star and Academy Award winner actor we have just lost this week, Robert Redford, died at the age of 89. He's a veteran of Hollywood and is best known for his performances like The Silver Age and The Silver Screen, including Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, 3 Days on the Condor, and The Sting. Amongst many, he is behind the scenes again on one of the greatest successes, earning him an Academy Award for being part of Best Directed in the work in 1980's Ordinary People. This film is also won a Best Picture award. He later went on to win an Academy Award, an honorable award from the Academies, and is reserved for individuals who have dedicated their lives to the cinematic industry. With his death, Hollywood is robbed of a true film titan within the industry. Redford has retired from acting back in 2018 after his appeared in The Old Man and a Gun. This is a crime film that perfectly bookends his career and launched him into the stratosphere where we know him famously in Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid. Despite the announcement of this, his last final appearance was in a superhero movie. He makes a cameo in one of the best Marvel movies ever made. Yes, one of the best Marvel movies ever made. And now he will go down in history as one of Hollywood's most legendary people. Because he is one of Hollywood's most legendary people. Okay. So, Robert Redford, his famous last on-screen appearance is in Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame. Yes, Avengers Endgame. You want to know? Okay. So, Avengers Endgame is his final appearance. And yes, I'm sorry that I had to flash a little shirtless on, but that's how I sleep, and this is adult content. So then also after that, remember, I had to set my phone down so I can get this page started. And despite the fact I have a lot of dirty laundry on my floor, I haven't had a chance to start it yet because I've been procrastinating. And now I'm back on topic. Okay, Robert Redford in his last on-screen appearance is in Avengers Endgame. As you see right there, he is standing in front of a wall, and on that wall you see is the logo of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, S.H.I.E.L.D. You see the logo right there, it's S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes. Robert Redford makes his final on-screen appearance in 2019, the last big Avengers movie we had, and is hailed as one of the best Marvel movies of our time. Therefore, he reprised in a role as Alexander Pierce, a former secretary of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, who previously appears in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, who is also a very good Marvel movie of all time. However, Pierce is a very old friend of Nick Fury. However, he's only revealed to be a double agent working under for Hydra, though he is shot and is killed at the end of Winter Soldier. Therefore, he managed to bring a cameo back from the dead from our idea that he comes back in a brief cameo scene in Endgame, when several of our mightiest heroes had to travel back in time to get all the stones to go back and reverse what Thanos did. However, and this was back in time in 2012. They traveled back to time to 2012, or more specifically, the Battle of 2012. The film reveals that our friend Pierce also is working as the Secretary of State for S.H.I.E.L.D. Therefore, during the event in the Battle of 2012, or Battle of New York, it's a Battle of 2012 or the Battle of New York, we travel back in time to this disastrous site shortly thereafter. However, let me tell you guys, after the Battle of New York, again, this is the flashback, he gets a humorous debate with our old friend Tony Stark. However, over the ownership from, we know, the Tesseract, which is that little cube. Okay? Now, which he's most likely wanted to use as a tool against Hydra's enemy. Although, in Avengers Endgame, this was released 1 year after he announced his retirement, he has filmed it from late 2017 into early 2018. Therefore, this is a back-to-back shoot with our friends, because also with Avengers Infinity War. That means that again, his cameo is most likely shot back-to-back, considering this is where he left his acting behind. Even though sometimes he make last on-screen appearances in Hollywood's most legendary movies with the most legendary actors, it is oftentimes for one scene. So therefore, that one scene totally brings the movie to greater heights. However, this cameo takes entirely new meaning in our retrospect that he is an Academy Award winner and takes this opportunity of prize to have a little bit of fun on the screen one last time. Alexander Pierce has changed Marvel forever. Yes, he has changed Marvel as we know it forever. And we know this because he's a very, very good friend of Nick Fury, who we know is played by Samuel L. Jackson. Robert Redford also has the distinction of being one of the most impactful people in the Marvel Universe, despite only being there twice. Alexander Pierce also changes everything thanks to his airtight scheme to take over S.H.I.E.L.D. Because remember, he was a double agent. Therefore, Hydra has been planning this infiltration for decades. Hence why he's also on Winter Soldier. He's on Winter Soldier, and then he had one time when he was in Endgame. Okay? So, he is able to place the Hydra in the positions in S.H.I.E.L.D., ensuring the betrayal will cause the biggest impact ever. And he just did that, as we saw back in the movies. So, under his supervision, guys, we know Hydra has launched a Project Insight, which is Project Insight, where they used their helicarriers and advanced tech to target thousands of potential threats around the world. Therefore, they had not been for a speedy intervention of Captain America and his friends, Hydra would have been uncontested ruler of the world. Although Hydra's ultimate plan did not pan out as they hoped they did, because with the interference we know by Captain America and our friends coming in and saving the day, like they do, S.H.I.E.L.D. has fallen as a result because of Hydra and their plan to infiltrate. While a small subsector of this organization still remains today, this has never been returned to the former glory, as we know from the first Captain America movie, and more specifically that last final base we saw on the beginning of the movie Age of Ultron, because there's a Hydra facility in that too. Yes, there's a Hydra facility on the movie Age of Ultron. You're forgetting that was with Baron von Strucker. Different guy though. Although this organization has a very small sector, and yes, Hydra is still there. Yes, Hydra is still there, guys. Hydra is still out there. You didn't know, but yes, Hydra is still there, even though it's very small. And it's never really returned to the former glory that we had in 1941. However, as we know, this has happened because, again, we saw this in Ultron, we saw this in the country Sokovia, and we saw this in Thanos and his quest to bring balance and wipe half of Earth off the map. However, thus with the Infinity Stones. We know this because we're people here that are believers, not fakers. Thus, with only a few short appearances and only 2 appearances, Robert Redford is best remembered for playing one of the most important characters in the Marvel Universe. And remember, Endgame and all the other movies were available to stream free on Disney Plus as long as you have a Disney Plus membership. So, in the famous words of Hutchins Hut, we like to say thank you for tuning in with this one, and we'll see you next time on the Hut.